Let me tell you a little secret. When I was a kid, I brought a book everywhere. Basketball games, book. Road trips, book. Waiting for a movie to start, definitely a book. I know, it's a little dorky. But I grew up in a family where reading wasn't something you were told to do. It was simply what everyone did. My parents always seemed to have a book nearby. In the car, in a bag, on a shelf, in their hands. And over time, that love of reading became contagious. My brothers and I read constantly. Trips to the library were a regular part of life. And bringing home stacks of books, it felt like bringing home treasure. What I didn't realize was that reading was going to give me something much bigger than information. It was giving me perspective. One of my favorite quotes says the following: "Reading can seriously damage your ignorance." I love that quote. It's a little bit funny, but it's definitely true. Every time you open a book, you enter into another world. You experience another life. You borrow someone else's wisdom, and you gain access to years, sometimes decades, of experience condensed into a few hundred pages. Think about that. A person can spend 20 years learning something, write a book about it, and for the cost of a paperback and a few hours of your time, you can absorb lessons that took them decades to discover. That is an incredible bargain. I remember one summer when I was taking classes at NC State University. I didn't have a car, didn't know many people, and frankly, I was a broke college student with a lot of free time. So I spent hours wandering through D.H. Hill Library. If you've never been there, it's enormous. Floor after floor of books, thousands upon thousands of ideas. I remember walking through the aisles and being amazed that there were entire sections devoted to subjects I had never even heard of before. Topics I didn't know existed. Questions I'd never thought to ask. And that's when I realized something. The world is far bigger than what any one person knows. But books give us a way to explore it. The beautiful thing about reading is that it is one of the great equalizers in life. You don't need to be wealthy, you don't need special connections, you don't even need permission. If you can read and have access to a library or, today, even the internet, you can learn almost anything. Want to learn a language? There's an app for that. You want to learn investing? There are books for that. You want to learn leadership, communication, history, psychology, science, or even how to fix your kitchen sink? Somebody has written about it already. The tools are everywhere. And that's why I believe ignorance today is rarely about a lack of opportunity. More often, it's a lack of curiosity. We live in a time when information is more accessible than at any point in human history. Yet many people never take advantage of it. They'll spend hours scrolling, but they won't spend 10 minutes reading something that could genuinely change their lives. And then they wonder why they keep facing the same problems. Well, here's what I've discovered. Many of the solutions we need already exist. Someone has already wrestled with that challenge. Someone has already studied that problem. Someone has already written down what they learned. And the question is whether you're willing to go find it or not. Because reading doesn't just help us solve problems. It helps us understand people. It helps us recognize patterns. It reminds us that history repeats itself and that many of the struggles we face today, they aren't entirely new. Humans have been trying to figure out life for a very long time. Books allow us to join that conversation. So here is my challenge to you today. Not to read 50 books this year. Not to become a scholar, not to write book reports, just to pick up one book. Read one page. That's it. One page. And maybe that page becomes 2, and maybe it becomes 10, and maybe it becomes a chapter, but start with one page. Because every book is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to think differently, to see farther than you could see before. And who knows, the next page you read might contain the very idea that changes your life. After all, reading can seriously damage your ignorance.